Everyone, thanks for being with us on this Wednesday. I am Robert Olguin.
And I'm Liz Dewicki. So this evening, we are learning more about why the city of El Paso chose to end its contract with the El Paso Zoo Society, which raised money to support the zoo, its animals, events, and programs.
KFOX 14 News at 5's Julia Spencer live at the zoo to tell us why the contract ended and what comes next.
Well, Liz and Robert, I'm here right outside of the El Paso Zoo, where the city of El Paso says that they aren't budging in their decision to end their contract with the El Paso Zoo Society. And with a unanimous vote by City Council, the city says that this decision was not only influenced by money, but it was because the society simply wasn't doing their job.
We're ending this partnership because it isn't 100% beneficial to both the Zoological Society and the city equally.
In a unanimous vote, City Council decided to end a contract with the El Paso Zoo Society. This decision is leaving the role that the Zoo Society was responsible for in the hands of the city. Now, I spoke with one city representative who says his vote was mainly based on the fact that the Zoo Society was responsible for the zoo memberships.
I voted in this way because I understand the membership part and taxpayer funding.
Under that contract, the Zoo Society was given 75% of zoo membership money, the other 25% to the city. However, the city now wants all of the membership money to themselves.
It seemed to make more sense for us in terms of efficiency and effectiveness for us to sell our own memberships and have 100% of those membership dollars come back to the zoo.
Yet the membership money isn't the only thing that led the city to this decision. The city also says that the Zoo Society has not been following their role in the contract since 2018.
Their contract in 2018 required them to raise $7.5 million. That was a subsidy for our master plan, right? It was 11 projects, only 4 of those were complete. They didn't do any capital projects.
They also say from zoo memberships, they get around $2.9 million. For the remainder of the money that the Zoo Society raises for the zoo, the city says that they would instead build a model that is similar to other city organizations.
We could hire a development officer to do that work. We could work with a body that is charged with doing that type of fundraising. The model that I like to talk about often is the Art Museum, because I think the Art Museum Foundation has done incredible work.
The city is still planning on moving forward with taking over the Zoo Society's responsibilities, but they did meet with the nonprofit this morning to clarify their future relationship.
The meeting was not to negotiate a new contract. It was a meeting to make sure we clarified what next steps were, to make sure we just had a sit-down meeting to talk about expectations.
The city says that the Zoo Society is still able to donate support to the El Paso Zoo. However, the city is still moving forward with taking over the major roles from here on out. Reporting live, Julia Spencer, KFOX 14 News at 5.
So the fallout continues after the city of El Paso severed ties with the nonprofit that raises money for the El Paso Zoo.
The El Paso Zoo Society sharing their reaction to statements made by the city in an interview that KFOX 14 had with the deputy city manager. So the Zoo Society disagrees with recent statements from El Paso's deputy city manager. We've got KFOX 14 News at 5's Julia Spencer live at the zoo with more on that follow-up right now. Julia?
The El Paso Zoo Society claims that the city of El Paso is misrepresenting the efforts that they do to support the zoo. And all of this is coming after the city decided to end its long-term contract with the organization.
For Ms. Mack to say that we're not doing our job, that we're not doing capital projects, that we're not supporting the zoo is really a false narrative, and it really is incorrect information.
Renee Newert is the CEO of the El Paso Zoo Society. Newert, along with board president Pamela Aguya, pushing back against claims made by deputy city manager Dion Mack following a meeting with city officials in the wake of the city's decision to cut ties with the society. The Zoo Society released a statement following that meeting, which read in part, quote, After realigning objectives, we look forward to working with the city manager to develop a new agreement and relationship. During an interview with Mac yesterday, she said that's not what was discussed.
The meeting was not to negotiate a new contract. It was a meeting to make sure we clarified what next steps were, to make sure we just had a sit-down meeting to talk about expectations.
Mac then went on to claim that the society wasn't doing their job.
Their contract in 2018 required them to raise $7.5 million. That was a subsidy for our master plan, right? It was 11 projects, only 4 of those were complete. They didn't do any capital projects.
The Zoo Society said that's not the case.
No, that would be incorrect. The agreement does not outline a specific number of capital projects, neither does it tie us to a contractual obligation of any amount whatsoever.
Eco Garden, that was done. The Treehouse Playground, that was done. The giraffe shade structures, that was done. We also did the carousel. That's on this. And we helped with the rhino exhibit. It was the elephant and now it's the rhino exhibit. That is done. And then the next project on this master plan is flamingos.
The Zoo Society says after this contract ends on March 17th, they will be working to rebrand their organization as well to figure out how they could continue supporting the zoo. Reporting live, Julia Spencer, KFOX 14 News at 5.